choose that as your career? Well, back then, I shot my first video during my second year of my grad school. And during that time, I have a little bit of a gap until my graduation. So I was very interested in that already. So a classmate of mine, who's also a good friend of mine, started this idea with me to shoot short videos. It is just like writing blogs or posting moments on WeChat. It's a form of expressing yourself. And for me, shooting short videos is just like that. I am more familiar and I'm more I'm better at acting. So through my acting, I can try to tell people stories and expressing my ideas, and that is a really good thing for me. Well, but at first in 2015, I started my first video, and for the next 6 months, nobody knew me at all. And then in November 2015, it was a short video of people Shanghai dialect dropping English words, and that was what went viral for me. Question. So did you really find out why it got so viral, or do you find out the kind of logic behind it? Answer. Well, of course, part of it was luck. Also, for me, I think there is the kind of destined outcome for it, because a lot of the people started to find out my previous videos after that went viral. I have a lot of, such as tips for boyfriends and all those different kind of films. So I think it's both. At that time, short videos is something that just got popular for people to use their fragmented time to entertain themselves. Question. So how many different languages do you speak? So you have Shanghai dialect, Mandarin, and all the other languages, right? Answer. So my Mandarin is perfect. Shanghai dialect is my mother tongue. And English is just undergrad level. And Japanese or, Northeastern dialect, I just know a little bit of it. Enough to shoot short videos, of course. Question. So another question for you. In real life, are you a person that is really just like funny, full of jokes, and very down to earth? Answer. So it can be pretty different, because a lot of people, when they first see me, they probably may be disappointed, because in my short videos, I am more a sarcastic person. But then when I decided to shoot a video, we think about the theme of it, and then we try to pick out a role. And I was only playing the roles in my videos. So that's quite different from myself. Question. So a lot of the people think that the reason for your popularity was because of the advertisement you got, and a lot of people may think that it was only just like catching people's eye for that. What do you think? Answer. So there were a lot of news all over the world, and at that time I didn't really realize that. So I'm a person that's easily distracted. So at that time I didn't really follow the news. And when I look back, I started to realize that it was such a popular news for a lot of people. Question. So 2 years has passed. You established your own company, Papi Tube. And what do you think of 2 years ago? Do you think that is, right now, it's more organizational, and back then it was just a little bit of playing and trying things out? Answer. So at first, it was only an interest. Until 2016, I started to establish my own company. And I had my own team until only 2016. So we are still in the lighthearted kind of environment, but back in 2014, it was all by myself. I have to think about many things around my daily life. But when we have a team, it's just more diverse because there are so many different aspects for people, and they can provide very fresh perspectives. And right now we have 70. We have signed contracts with 70 vloggers to help them with promotion and commercialization. So before it was only your own talents to attract traffics and attract young people, but now it's a little bit different. You want to create a platform to try and identify those talents and incubate celebrities or stars, right? And right now, from an actress, you are trying to transform into a business person. So the change of mindset is affecting you. So a couple of days ago, I saw your new short video. It's myself in 18 and myself at 30. So have you thought about the changes in your life and your mindset? Answer. So most of the time, it's all of a sudden you feel like you are old and you just get old. So it doesn't really matter which mindset is better. It's just different. So from an actress to a founder of a company, for me, I have a lot of talents and I have a very talented team. So the girl just stood up. She's a very good actress, and right now she's in charge of the operations of a company. Because of her, I could concentrate really on acting and content. So I feel like everybody is probably the same. You switch into different modes to do in different posts. Question. So before, you probably it's yourself. You only think about yourself. But when you have a company, do you think you've gotten a lot of more pressure, and then it's just not as fun as it was in the past? Answer. So it's like shooting commercials. A lot of people may wonder that is it going to destroy your previous original intention of creating contents? I feel like for vloggers, you really have to commercialize. So nobody can try to only create content with no returns. So first of all, you need to understand the brand and try to combine the brand selling points into your own videos in order to, achieve the kind of perspectives for demand. So a lot of our customers are really smart, so they can very swiftly detect whether this is a commercial or it's an original short video.
From my perspective, I was born after 1970s, and when you started to rise to fame, I watched a couple of your videos and I found them really interesting. I noticed that you have now embarked on a very stable trajectory, and I think that your target audience are basically people of your similar age or younger age. So I believe that you have looked very much into the profile of your audience. Can you maybe talk a bit on that? We have noticed of this trend at a very early stage. I know that as the bigger the follower base you have, the younger they tend to get. So primarily I'm targeting at top tier cities and people who were born after 80s or 90s, sometimes even after 2000s. I feel I have more female followers than male followers. Thank you. So when you are conducting research on what will interest your audience, I believe that your videos somehow reflect what attracts the millennials or where their anxiety lies in. Can you please share some of the insights that you get? Well, I don't know about others, but for me, I don't really want to focus on what other people care about, what my audience care about. Because if you follow them too closely, it will give them the idea of you're catering to them. And gradually you will lose your own track. So from my perspective, as a content generator, I feel I need to be true to myself. Whether with or without a team, I get all of my ideas and inspiration from my life. So however old you are, whatever age you're in, you're also carrying on your life. So I know that as long as I can be truly reflecting what my life situation is, that you will find people echoing with you. Let me switch to a bit of a serious topic, which is basically the theme of our session today, that is cyberbullying. I believe that you must have a lot to say on this topic because somehow you are associated with this issue at some point. So can you please talk to us a bit about your stories about this topic? I started to understand this issue very early. I know that this is a continuous topic and it is quite prevalent. And in 2016, I have made a short video specifically dwelling on this issue, and I really love this video. So what the video had is that when he got bullied in life, and then he would find some way to soothe himself. And I think that it's actually quite commonly seen in life when, so the same person can be completely different either online in virtual world and in the real life. So why I want to talk about cyberbullying today is that I feel there is some degree of negligence, and I know that it could carry some serious consequence, especially to the teenagers or adolescents, people who are younger. They will take it for granted. They think that cyberbullying is acceptable. They don't have to be held accountable for what they say or do online, and this should not be encouraged. Also, some of the victims of cyberbullying will also gradually transform themselves to be the conductor of cyberbullying. So that is where I get the idea to make that 2016 video. That is, we need to be responsible for however we act online. Exactly. We have seen many of the cases related to cyberbullying, either home and abroad, and that somehow some of them led to very sad situations with people getting severely damaged. And I know that you're a celebrity. Everyone will get a chance to be bullied. But the thing is, because of the different amount of social resources that you have, and also because of the different social positions that you're in, you may react differently to cyberbullying. So even for people who doesn't know you at all, they will come right on you and exert some of the threatening messages on you personally. So how do you react to those behaviors? And for those younger netizens, what would be your suggestion to them how to protect themselves from those violent words? I think when I first came under cyberbullying, I may react the same way as you do. I feel I'm just a normal person, and then all of a sudden I got many of the criticism, some of them in a quite derogatory term. I almost got collapsed. I did not understand the purpose of their action. I don't even know this person. Why did he act in such a malignant way? And I cried. I got myself into an echo chamber. And I realized that, in fact, you don't really have to reason with these people. There is no way that you can debate with them because you are on two different grounds. They will not listen to your reason. You don't have to go all the way to stage a fight with him. The only reason he said those wrong terms was solely out of this purpose that he wanted to say something bad to hurt you. So my takeaway is that, first of all, do not even argue with them. And secondly, you need to level some of your legal rights. Either blacklist him, this netizen, or resort to the police. I think this is the only thing we can do. Well, you also have a weapon. That is, you can make them into videos. Portray these bullies as the villains in video, and pull out a quite satirical string. I've tried that, but also I spent quite an amount of time thinking whether he deserves my energy of making such a big video of him, creating even more propaganda for him. I don't feel that's meaningful at all. Well, let me share a bit of my own story. I talked to my social media manager, and told her that I'm going to attend this session. So I did a bit of a little posting on our public account on the social media, saying that I'm going to have a talk with you tomorrow. We got some attention, and some of your followers were quite upset because he didn't like the way I look. They didn't like the way I look, so they bullied me. I actually went to your post and look and take a look, and I realized some of these comments actually went all the way to me. So we're on an equal footing here. Don't feel so bad about yourself. Okay, so as a female celebrity, you have a large amount of followers. So compared with you and your male counterparts, do you feel that female celebrities will get more unequal treatment, or you are more prone to on the receiving end of cyberbullying? I was just talking to my colleagues about this topic yesterday. I feel cyberbullying is quite indiscriminatory. They don't care who you are. They just want to find a venting source to let out their anger. But sometimes I realize that female are more vulnerable to rumors and scandal attack. I feel this is quite different from male. Let me share a story with you. I once became a popular search word on Weibo, which is a social media account, because of a scandal. And this scandal is about me getting getting into some erotic behaviors. But I believe if I was a male, they wouldn't even put this ring on me. But I believe that for female celebrities, usually they tend to be shaped as a prostitute, and for male, they will be formed into a way that they will resort to prostitution. This is almost like a norm of rumor making, and sometimes there will be rumors about, is she pregnant? Did she have an abortion? But these points cannot be applied to a male celebrity. So I think most of the bullies, they are quite indiscriminatory, but sometimes they will pouch on some of the female features, like we can be pregnant or we can do something that male can't. Well, as a flag bearer, do you feel that you want to speak more out for female? When in face of these unequal treatment, do you feel that you are more in the position to speak out against these cyberbullying? Not particularly. I feel my videos are primarily calling for positive energy. It does not really anchor on female or male. I feel as long as you are you belong to the human mankind, then obviously you want to act in a benevolent way. You should be kind inherently, no matter who you are, how old you are, or what gender you are. Let me move back to a bit of content generation. So you gained your fame about 2 years ago, and in these 2 years, the so-called online celebrity economy has changed quite dramatically. You are probably the first batch or the pioneer of this trend, but now it's getting a little bit more chaotic. What is your take on that? I noticed that these MCNs or KOLs, they are rising quite tremendously in quantity. And also many of the platforms, they have some supporting policies to the MCN companies or personals. My view is that this is a burgeoning industry, and still we are not very well regulated in terms of how this industry will carry out its businesses. So this is also something that we're working on. We know platforms, short video platforms like Douyin and Kuaishou, they also gained popularity in a very short period of time. But they rose up to fame in a quite different way as how you did. Now you also had your account on Douyin and Kuaishou, these two platforms. Will you change your way of presentation on these two platforms? I feel that we will need to tinker a bit just to fit ourselves better onto these platforms. For example, most of the videos you will find on Douyin platform is only about 30 seconds. So this can be interpreted into a lower threshold for you to make a video. When I became popular, some people commented that the way that I make video is already of a quite low threshold, as long as you can have a set of cell phone. And for Douyin, you don't really need to know how to edit video. You don't need to have to possess the skills because the app can do that for you automatically. So this will provide you with more choices. It can free you up from lots of constraints. But I believe that it's just a change of formality. What really matters at the end of the day is the content, is how well people can take what you are expressing in the video. I don't really feel time matters to the quality of the video, because even though short video is so popular, movie still has its own particular place. We know that you have a degree in director, and you were also a part of movie production before. Do you think this will be something you're interested in the future? When are we going to see you on the big screen? I will continue with my short video career, but I also like to try out in some live show or TV show, and I would continue to explore. What if Tom Cruise would like to have you on the next season of Mission Impossible? What would we tell him? I will be obviously very interested. Final question.
So it's also about the short video platforms. So you are the pioneer in the industry, and we have seen tens of thousands of people from grassroots, urban, or rural areas. All these people try to follow your path. A lot of people have already gotten a lot of followers in different forms. What do you have to say for them? To them? Answer. So no matter if you're like me for short videos, or you're doing live streaming, or you are more down to earth, as long as you have solid content, or as long as you can evoke people's emotions, then you will have your audience base. A lot of the time, there may be overlapping audience base, but I think as long as you have that, that's all right. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you.